Let's begin our day filled with all satsangas with the remembrance and salutations to all pervading the Parabrahma Tattva. Tasya Atma Vivarunate Tanum Swam. It is His grace when He wants to reveal, He will reveal. So He Janata Jai Dev Janai. Let us request that truth reality to reveal to us. So to the Lord, the manager of the entire universe, let us find ourselves in His good books by trusting Him and eternally engaging in the upasana to Him. So, too, the connection between us and Him, the Lord, is established only by the medium of the Guru. Therefore, inevitably, we have to have that great devotional approach towards the Guru Tattva, Guru Parampara, Swaguru, and our Acharyas. All of them are inner, very deeper inexplicable feelings and experiences. So, to our trust in the Lord's word form called as the Shastras. All the time, that devotion to all these four commitment should be made surfaced in our life. Now, in today's 2 minutes of introduction, with the help of studied Shastras so far, we must be very clear now that the Maya in the form of the mind in the form of the thoughts in the form of the world outside, is the entire cause of samsara, hiding Paramatma from us, putting us in the bondage. Therefore, these are the things we have to wipe off or eliminate or exhaust or remove or go beyond or transcend, whatever the words we use. You know? So, at each of the level, the Maya will be conquered finally. Mamevaye prapadyante. Maya medam tarantite. But before that, at the outer world level, at the inner mind level, we should be very clear in the understanding as to how they mutually complementing bind us. Then how? By dissecting them or separating them or detaching them or divorcing them, we can weaken the effect of both of them on us so that our pursuit of the reality, the truth beyond, behind becomes conspicuous, certain, sure, and result oriented. Especially, it is the mind. है ना? The manaha, as technically called as manorajya. Continuously, the mind restless like a river with waves goes on happening. It has become its habit from thousands of lives. है ना? Therefore, and we never attended to it. We never knew or understood that this sort of setup of the mind is the cause of restlessness in the mind, cause of unwanted agitations, restlessnesses, involvements in the world, which not only making us do the things which we are not supposed to do, and giving us the dukkha, which is not necessarily our plight or our we did not get it at all. At the same time, the same is the reason because of which beyond that we are not able to see. And then a lot of dust storm is there in front of the eyes. You can't see the beyond thing. Heavy rains, you can't see beyond. Lot of fog, smoke, you can't see. Same way, the dust and storm and smoke and fog of continuous manovrittis, manorajyas are the karana that we are not stable either in our dharmacharana, we are not stable in our upasanas to Lord, we are not stable in our knowing the goal, remembering the goal of the Paramatma, pursuing Him to such an extent that the goal only is forgotten. How can anybody forget the goal even a moment? Isn't it like you are going to some destination? You may be talking to someone while driving the car, music you may be listening, but do we forget that goal where we have to go? Never. Why? Our vehicle is going towards that only. It indicates that we have not forgotten the goal. Our twists and turns of the vehicle through the steering all are towards it. So, heart in heart, we know the physical place to reach. But what about the spiritual goal? If we really have that goal always remembered, like this driving example, will we go anytime in a wrong direction, steering our way in a wrong way? But we are all the time in wrongdoings only, which are taking us away from the goal. So that means what? Either we are not certain about the goal or we are not liking or understanding its glory, isn't it? This is what is the forgetfulness of the goal done by this continuous manovrittis, manorajya. And then even in that manovritti, manorajya, so many thoughts are there. First of all, they have no logic. Second, they have no meaning. Third, they don't have purpose. Fourth, how many thoughts gurgling about how many things or beings or projects and variety of relativities, emotions towards them. अरे इसका कोई फायदा है? How many of them we can fulfill? Even if some are fulfilled, the other things come up. How long we go on wasting all our money for the unproductive things collected and kept at home, of which none of them are used by us? Do we say it is wisdom? है ना? 10 कार खरीद के रखा और कहीं जाता ही नहीं, और bought so many things in the house, never use करते हैं, filled the cell phone with so many phone numbers and never talking to anyone. Is that not an immaturity? In the same way, in the mind, so many variety of thoughts coming are of no meaning, no use. Then how can the mind be at peace? How can the intellect be freed from the clutches of the mind? Then only the intellect goes to the Guru, listens to the Shastra, knows what is the goal, understands why that should be the goal, understands from Guru's guidance the path sadhana, then only that intellect has the command over the entire life to walk in that sadhana marga to reach the sadhya siddhi. So, where is the exactly problem? We should trace it. It is in the mind. But into the mind, where from the world comes one, so inside vasanas. Now you can't help them. They have to be exhausted by devaluing whatever comes onto the surface of the mind from the vasana layers. But the other source is the world outside, isn't it? The indriyas are the ones through which the things enter into the mind, and then once the bacteria enters, it has its own power of spoiling the health system. Virus once enters, it has its own way to attack various parts. The microbes appear to be so small, they're microscopic, but still they have their own effect of slowly, steadily causing infection and damaging parts. So, too, the outer perceptions of the world are minute micro only, but they have their own ability together to spoil the whole sport of life, where we are given human life for spiritual evolution. That is not allowed. So, how much we have immunity? We have to have the immunity, not allowing all of them to enter. How many precautions we take at the physical level, same way at the mind level. है ना? Two things the object level, not allowing the outer world to enter. The ideal most is what is said so many times, if you remember in that Dhanyastakam. See, 3 or 4 times it has come. Last sloka also, Bhagavan will say the same. What is that? vanachare vicharanti dhanyaha, vanagruhe vicharanti dhanyaha. You understood? Only when we become vanachara, vanagruha, that we are not giving chance to the senses to pour in unwanted things in our heart. But in today's world, we can't go to the forest, for various reasons. So, what is meaning of vanachara is the vanaprastha. What is the vanaprastha means? What? We are with our own selves, our own goal, our own God. Isn't it? Select a place where the sense perceptions are not entering to us. See, desire creating sense perceptions are one way. They are anyway to be avoided. Not creating desire, but just entering and agitating our mind. That also is a problem, no? With so much of struggle, we are trying to quieten the mind, to transcend the mind, to see the self behind. So, the wanted thoughts, the unwanted thoughts of desires, and desire भी नहीं है, लेकिन just like the thoughts. That is called Medhaya Pihitaha in our Taittiriya Upanishad. See, if we really calculate, 5% thoughts in a zar of use, 45-50% are of desires, remaining 50 are of no use, no purpose. That's because the senses are pouring inside all this data. Whether it is by we ask them or we are in such circumstances that they just receive them. And where will they send? है ना, जब डाक आता है तो टेबल पे रखेंगे ना. So when the senses are open, active, exposed to various perceptions, they pour all of them onto the mind. Mind bechara will have to carry the load of all of that. So therefore, Vanagruhe Vicharanti is a very high level of wise life wherein we are not allowing the outer world to enter through senses into mind. All this is because we want to realize the self. We want to experience the truth, the reality behind everything. We want to be one with that substratum, not one with the superimposed. So, in this way, outer world entering into the mind, that also we have to curtail the nature of the mind to be restless. That is curtailed through various japa and upasanas, etc. onto the mind surface from within. When the vasanas come, by devaluing, not engaging them, they also have to be slowly removed. In this way, we have to achieve a state of mind which is free from any of the unnecessary vrittis, thus available for remembering the mantras of the Upanishads. All the logics and examples given to us by our gurus, with the support of whom the understandings, convictions regarding the self, its nature, its place of availability, and to reach to Him, how to reach, all of them are so clear to us. See that Dhanyashtakam, such a fantastic text. So too Bhagavan Rama's teaching, how each of the sadhana is explaining. They all have to be on the surface of our heart. Towards that only we have to keep on working. If we seek liberation, if we are matured enough to know the moksha purushartha alone is ultimate, not the artha kama, dharma is for the vyavahara. Okay. So the two problems are the mind as well as the outer world. How we understand it, how much we are clear about they being the obstructions from moksha and givers of bondage. How much we are serious and sincere regarding stopping them. All of that shows that we are studying Shastras correctly. We are understanding what Shruti Mata's heart is, what Gurus are teaching us. नहीं है तो इसका मतलब और भी हमको दम जोर मेहनत लगाना है, करना है. So right now I am now. Where is my mind? What is there in the mind? What perceptions are entering into the mind? What agitations they are creating in mind? And from within the Vasanamaya Kosha, what is happening? See how many ways the mind is attacked and spoiled. With this many things, how can I remember that my goal is to be the self? That the goal itself is not remembered. Why will we bother to remember the path? When these two are not remembered, why do we go in that direction? That's what is samsara. All are like that. We are also like that. That's why you see in this very Upanishad, Aitareya, three times it came. In the beginning also, middle also, now also. He, by the Kripa Karuna of some Guru, that we are put it in the Moksha Marga. You know? Now we are on that path now. Be sensitive. That the Guru Parampara, Guru Tattva, the Guru are showing us the Moksha Marga. We have to consciously value it. If this much of purity, dignity, or what do you call, whom to value, whom not to value, if that maturity is not there, still we continue neglecting the God's grace in the form of Guru, Guru's grace in the form of Shastra Jnana, Shastra grace in the form of showing us the goal and path, then we are still, no words to talk about. Just we have to rectify ourselves that way. So thus, mind the manorajya. That is why throughout the day, engaged in the conscious efforts of things related to the God, so much that anything other than divine are not allowed to enter. You understood now why we are given a perfect system of whole day schedule in our Sanatana Shastra, getting up at from 4 o'clock onwards. The dhyana, then the upasana, then the yajna, then the loka seva, karma yoga, evening again that bhakti sadhana, isn't it? And occasions coming again and again to bring us out of the dullness or moroseness of routine and do the big programs at the mass level, that festivals, that Brahmotsavas, that Varshigotsava. See, all of them are doing what? As we said in the beginning, the Maya in the expression of the mind, the Maya through the Indriyas of the perceptions, not allowing to enter into the mind. So that we are reminded of the goal. सबसे important है गोल मनाना बनाना उसको याद रखना. That's called samadhanam. Sarvada sthapanam buddhehe shuddhe brahmane sarvatha tat samadhanam ityuktam. Samyak adhanam. Always the mind is about that goal, isn't it? Such people, tired, exhausted, they take rest. Once they're refreshed, the main thing, first thing comes to them is this only. They try to escape all desires, all obligations, all promptings, even the dharmas, to do the paramadharma of the spiritual sadhana. Just like a bhogi of the world tries to escape the paramadharma, tries to escape the laukika dharma, tries to escape the swadharma, and runs to the bhoga like a children. They want to quickly finish the study, quickly finish the homeworks, quickly finish all those tuitions, jump into the play. देर कितने उतावले होते देखो जब सुबह स्कूल की घंटी बजती है शुरुआत वाली हाउ फ्रस्ट्रेटेड दिस फेलोस बट इवनिंग व्हेन छुट्टी वाली घंटी बजती ओह सो एक्साइटेड दे आर ए भोगी इज लाइक दैट opposite is a sadhaka. You know, have we come to that clarity, that purity, that wanting to escape everything into the Lord? वो हो रहा है क्या हमको और still we are struggling even to remember the goal, even to love the goal, even to be clear about every step of the path towards the goal. मतलब और भी हमको पढ़ना सोचना है और भी हमको purity of the heart is required. Our effort for that, so too the Krupa of Bhagavan. That's why in one of the places we see the biggest thing that is asked from the God is purity of the heart. Bhagavan, give me the Shuddhata in the Chitta. Yesterday we saw, in that Yoga Darshana Shastra, when the Antaha Shaucham is practiced, inner purity, Sattva Shuddhi, Saumanasya, Aikagriya, Indriya Jaya, then Atmopalabdhi, Yogyata. Inner purity से ये सब मिलते हैं. What a beautiful thing it was. It's complete actually. So pray to the Lord. Hey Bhagavan, let my chitta be not polluted by the pancha kleshas, not polluted by the shad aris, 6 enemies, not polluted by, affected by the pairs of opposite, not disturbed by this raga dvesha. Oh Bhagavan, Shuddha kar rakho. In that Shuddha Antakarana, only the divinity is the theme. I know, Baba, let us mature to that level of having theme divine only throughout the day. बस बाकी सब मोह, बाकी सब माया, बाकी सब अविद्या है, वो है ही नहीं. Yesterday is that most so powerful that our रघु गीता में तो 3 topics में जो first 30 श्लोकास of 14th chapter only. How Atmanonyanna Kinchana Atmaivedam Idam Sarvam Brahmanonyanna Kinchana Brahmaivaham Asmi. How repeatedly, Ghuma Fira ke. The Rubu Gita's technique is, as the technique of the mind, ki Ghuma Fira ke humko, it takes us away from the truth. Exactly opposite. The technique of Rubu Gita is Ghuma Fira ke, taking us to the reality. Like the Hindus have to learn all the arts very aggressively to Ghuma Fira ke protect our Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma, Shastras. That they have to become a big group, universal group. Ghuma Fira ke, whatever the trend is there in the world, using that and succeeding in this Sanatan Dharma Vyapti. They have to do. Some group should come. This is how the Rubu Gita guides. In the same way, our man also that way should be engaged. That life we should love. That is why we are taking up those small little stotrams also in the evening, which just give an asha in us. Yaar maybe Kaupinavanta, Kalu Bhagyavanta, Vanu, or maybe Dhanya Ashtaka Metaya, like that, Unki Tara my home. So too, those teachings of Rama be my own. Let me become like Vamadeva. Isn't it? These are all inspirations to us, reminders to us. So, how consciously we are attending to them, how much we are taking them inside us, how much we are making them work or we are working on them, all of that shows our desire for moksha and readiness to do sadhana. May we thus be very clear at every moment about what we have to do to achieve what we have to. By God's Guru's grace, Shruti Mata Kripa, our own efforts. Let us see today and conclude our second adhyayam of this Aitareya Upanishad. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo, Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo, Vamsharusibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarvalokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Om Yairime Guru Vihi Purvam Vadavakya Pramanatah Vyakhyatāh Sarva Vedantāh Tānityam Pranatosmyaham. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ॐ भवता जनता सुहिता भविता निजबोधविचारणचारुमते कलयेश्वरजीवविवेकविदं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। इतरेयोपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो नमः। वेदव्यासमहर्षये नमः। इतरेयमहर्षये नमः। आद्यशङ्करमहर्षये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। सङ्कल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दव संस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां शास्त्राणां भक्तियोगवेदान्तप्रक्रियाणां मोक्षमार्गाणां प्रक्रियाणां पुनरुत्थानजागरणविश्वव्याप्तिद्वारा विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति शांति कल्याण एकता पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्माकं सह अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये निष्ठित सर्वेषां भक्त साधक जनानां गुरूणाम् आचार्याणां संस्थानाम् आश्रमाणां श्रेयभिलाषिणां पूर्णायुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्य क्षेम स्थैर्य धैर्य वीर्यादि शक्ति संपदा सानुकूलता साधनानां प्राप्ति बाह्य अभ्यंतर शत्रु विघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थं श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेयारण्यकांतर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आद्यशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं पारायणं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम मनस्तावतमशान्त्यै यस्य पादनखच्छटा शरदिन्दुनिभाभाति तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम्। ओमत श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेयोपनिषत् शान्तिमन्त्रः। ओम वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य माणीस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्ददामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवदो तद्वक्तारमवत्ववतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। पारायणम् अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः द्वितीयः खण्डः। In our chanting द्वितीय खण्ड first chapter for 2-3 minutes. ओम ता एता देवताः सृष्टाः अस्मिन् महत्यर्णवे प्रावतन् तम् अशनाया पिपासाभ्याम् अन्ववार्जत ता एनमब्रुवन् आयतनं नः प्रजानीहि यस्मिन् प्रतिष्ठिता अन्नम् अदाम इति ताभ्यो गाम् आनयत् ता अब्रुवन्न वैनोऽयमलमिति ताभ्यो अश्वमानयत् ता अब्रुवन्न वैनोऽयमलमिति ताभ्यः पुरुषमानयत् ता अब्रुवन् सुकृतं बत इति पुरुषो वाव सुकृतं ता अब्रवीत् यथा आयतनं प्रविशत इति अग्निर्वाग् भूत्वा मुखं प्राविशत् वायुः प्राणो भूत्वा नासिके प्राविशत् आदित्यः चक्षुर्भूत्वा अक्षिणी प्राविशत् दिशः श्रोत्रं भूत्वा कर्णौ प्राविशन् ओषधिवनस्पतयो लोमानि भूत्वा त्वचं प्राविशन् चंद्रमा मनो भूत्वा हृदयं प्राविशद मृत्युरपानो भूत्वा नाभिं प्राविशद आपोरेतो भूत्वा शिश्नं प्राविशन तम अशनाया पिपासे अब्रूताम् आवाभ्याम् अभिप्रजानीहि इति ते अब्रवीत् एतासु एव वां देवतासु आभजामि एतासु भागिन्यौ करोमि इति तस्मात् यस्यैकस्यै च देवतायै हविर्गृह्यते भागिन्यौ एव अस्याम् अशनाया पिपासे भवतः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So friends, in the beautiful fifth mantra, very powerful suggestions are given. तदुक्तं ऋषिणा गर्भेऽनुसन् अन्वेषाम् अवेदम् अहं देवानां जनिमानि विश्वा शतं मा पुर आयसीः अरक्षन् अधः शेनः जवसा निरदीयम् इति गर्भे एव एतत् शयानः वामदेवः एवम् उवाच. How important was those whole discussion? We have seen that exhaustively. What is the important thing is, very many bad examples I am giving. Where and when the mrityu will come, we don't know. But for the mrityu to happen at that time, at that place, the preparation was going on. That mrityu or the heart attack, where and when it will come. or paralysis where and when it come, or the accident where and when it come, or sleeping where and when it will happen. That's why I said all unhealthy bad examples I am giving. But none of them are accidents, but it was a process. That's going on. That time it just happens. So too, the eyesight reduced, the audition ability gets reduced, isn't it? So too, the slip disc happened behind, or the knee problem. Suddenly नहीं होते वो, isn't it? Heaviness of the body, lack of calcium, no exercise, and excessive no exercise or excessive workload when they are given. Slowly, first the knees give a hint to be careful. If we don't heed to it, slowly they get spoiled. In the same way, the indriyas, the body, isn't it? Negative example given for the positive understanding. So too, when the delivery pains come, where the delivery will happen, we don't know exactly the pinpoint. कितना भी doctors कहे, even the latest technology 10 दिन इधर उधर कहीं देते हैं वो लोग. Same way, keeping in mind the faith in the sadhana to be done and the divinity to express. Engage so much in the things to be done. Spiritual sadhanas. Who knows what time? है ना? The Bhagavad Kripa comes and the thing happens. The Guru Kripa comes and the thing happens. The fructification of the sadhana happens and the realization happens. Isn't it? Just like the negative examples we gave, positive also. Like, did ever Parikshit imagine his life that Shukadevji will come and teach him and he will listen and become realized? Did Arjuna ever thought that he will surrender to Krishna and Krishna gives such a great knowledge? But both they are all preparing earlier consciously, some subconsciously, some. Consciously doing means knowing that this is the goal, this is the means. Subconsciously means sticking to the life of dharma, sticking to the life of as indicated with the Shastra. They are all subconscious ways of preparing ourselves for spiritual unfoldment because they all are the means for purification of the heart. Pure heart invokes the divine grace for spiritual liberation. So all this is said to say that Vamadevaji, from many earlier lives, he was going on pondering over, contemplating over the life he is going through, which is of bondage, and the life of liberation. Not only his, he was keeping in mind the others also, including Devatas, observing for him they were also bound to be, you know, they were also seen to be bound in the samsara of Janma, Marana, and all of that, or powers increasing or addiction, or they are dethroned by even Rakshasas, or they have mutual jealousy only. अरे भाई वहां जाकर भी संसार है. Then he focused on himself. That's very essential thing. Ki hundreds and hundreds of times, like the chains of iron, I am shackled in this panchakosha yukta dehas every time. And I never recognized it, and I never realized my own inner strengths and powers to be able to break open those shackles and come out flying high, freely in the space. Now, in that Garbha, that Garbha eva is a very indicative explanation. Isn't it? It's not कि गर्भ एव शयनः क्या है. It is like this. कि once I come out of the garbha of the mother, so many people will be there around trying to relate me with them with me. And I will unnecessarily fall into the nonsensical trap of obligations. It is better that in the garbha only let me try and realize. Isn't it? In the same way, Garbheva Shayana means what? In our waking plane, when we in our life got the Gurus, that time only, as if we are in the Garbha of Guru's Krupa, there only we have to realize, don't postponing it for the later on period because Every day in our worldliness, we are adding more vasanas only. We are covering ourselves with more and more layers only. Each of them again becomes difficult to open up. Today's introduction was that. Yesterday also we talked this point. Every perception of the world adds to the vasanas. Till we realize the self and everything is self, we recognize. Without this, if you take the world for granted, it will go on entering and we don't know. We gave you example in the morning of the virus, micro it is. But how it goes and spoils our inner health, we don't know. You can't take it for granted. In the same way, garbhe eva shayanaha, the meaning of that is this one. You know, not allowing it to, what is it? Not postponing our own spiritual sadhana. So, seed is sown, immediately we have to water it, quickly see that it grows, and we realize there and then. So, Garbhe Eva Shayanaha was meaning is that Shatam Ma Pura Ayasihi. What is the meaning of all that? Shatam Aneka Bhakvyaha Ma Mam Pura Ayasihi Ayasya Lohamaya Iva Abhedyani Sharirani Ti Abhipraya. So many Shariras, each of the Janma, and every of Janma, especially the human, one after the other, five chains, जैसे to the Devaki Vasudeva, this Rakshasa comes has put them in such a place in the jail that there are 7 doors, it is said. All are iron only, iron like stone, so powerful. Those who have gone to Mathura, they know it. है ना कितना तगड़ा है वो वाला दीवार 5000 साल के बाद भी है वो इवन नाउ the main door is there and the remaining 5 are those Rakshasas have taken. Abhi, we will get it back. The Hindus will get it back very soon. Select the same government again next time. नेशनल लेवल में हमारे काशी मथुरा भी अयोध्या की तरह हमें मिल जाएंगे. So like that those iron made walls and doors he has put, so to each of the koshas, and they are like a bulbulaya also. One kosha you try to come out, other captures us. Another you try to come out, the third one seizes us. Third one you come out, the fourth one overpowers us. The fourth we call the fifth one, the Anandamaya, it takes us to Nidra. So things they are no iron chains. So the by saying that the iron made shackles or the cages I was put. By my own nonsense, he is indicating to us how by being living life at the Panchakosha level, we go on strengthening our own bondage. Simple words are every time we take human birth, it is to loosen the shackles and to get prepared for liberation. That is why Upanishad Sadehe Dhatoho Visharanam Avasadanam Gati. Every life loosening the samsara by pratibhaksha bhavana and practice of it. Every life we have to reduce our ignorance by adding the knowledge to ourselves. Every life we get the human vala few steps toward the truth, away from the untruth we have to put. So Shatamma Ayasi Puraha. It means if I don't become wise now and become like Shena and break open these shackles, life by life, more and more iron chains or iron walls or iron doors, iron rods will be put around me. This is what we have to understand. So, samsara pasha nirgamanad adaha arakshan rakshitavatya iti. Atha, then what is to be done? Shena iva jalam bhitva javasa atmajnana kruta samarthena niradiyam nirgatos. He is saying that I tried and really came out of this bondage like a shenaha. And what is the thing? Yesterday we spent more than 10 minutes. Atma Jnana Krita Samarthena. There is no other Shakti to break open the 5 shackles, 5 koshas or any Dehatadhatma. Then the Drudha understanding about Atma Jnana and Drudha Ichha about the Atma Anubhava Prapti. They are the only ones which give us strength to break all our identities with the upadhis. जितना कमजोर है आत्म प्राप्ति की डिजायर उतना जोर ज्यादा होगा पंचकोशों के डिजायर. जितना ये डिजायर स्ट्रांग होता है उतना वो कमजोर होएंगे. दैट इज वाई आत्मज्ञान कृत सामर्थ्य. आत्मज्ञान क्या है इधर? आत्मन अलोन इज रियल, इट इज ब्लिसफुल, इट इज इनफाइनाइट, है ना. गेनिंग दैट अलोन इज मुक्ति. ऑल ऑफ दैट इज कॉल्ड एज आत्म रिलेटेड ज्ञान. दैट्स कॉल्ड एज आत्मज्ञान हियर. Each of these informations, knowledges gives samarthya with which we break it, isn't it? And then you can understand it in 100 ways. So much thinking can be done on that. Explanations can be given. You can do homework on it. And always remember Atmavastu and its glory and wanting to reach it. Come out of any doings related at the Panchakosha level and pursue only Atmajnana sadhana. सुबह नींद आती है, दैट इज आनंदमय कोश. रिमेंबरिंग the goal of Atma Prapti, get up, take bath, and sit for meditation. The intellect tries to go into the world to analyze, to the understand and all. Immediately the Atma Jnana should remind us, say that that's not our job, not get trapped. The mind also creates all emotions, imaginations, projections, and try to hook on to something or the other, either to raga, dvesha, or any of its emotion. Immediately, the Atma Jnana Samarthya should tell us this is not the purpose. So, too, the Indriyas always have something or the other to demand, like the children. No, no, life survival, what's required, that much I consume, more than that. All the unwanted things I can't involve. This all will be done when the Atma Jnana Samarthya is there. So to the laziness of the body, isn't it? Every time the shackles try to shackle us, every time the Atma Jnana Samarthya should make us pursue the Atma Jnana Prapti Sadhana. In this effort, the Atma Sadhana should increase, the other things should reduce. At the final level, they are at zero level. Living life at the Upadhi level is zero level. Living life only doing sadhana for realizing the self is 100%. In the total dedicated endeavor, that we will be able to pierce through all these layers of ignorances, delusions, etc. There we see the self, the reality, the truth, the Brahman, the Atman as our own self. So this is the meaning of Vamadevaji. In the womb only, just contemplated, saw devatas. They also are born and getting died or limited with so many things. Then he looked himself. He understood. He was also gone through devata shariras, gone through so many things. And by his own choice, he was shackling himself down lower by giving value to this kosha yukta jivana, the jiva bhava, deha bhava. Now he is by then from every life studying the Atma Jnana Shastras from the Guru, that samarthya has grown so much. In the womb only, he just kicked away all the shackles, thrown away or broken them. He just says like Shenaha, I came out. Niradiyam means Nirgatosmi. No more I am bound in the shackles of Panchakosha Tadatmya. Yesterday also in Rubu Gita, like this, there are 7 8 slokas which talking about freeing ourselves from all upadhis, all koshas, all concepts. In the Rubu Gita, other than direct personal experience, everything else is rejected. So to say that, don't get bound at any level, at any place, because everything is that way is Maya's effect. Same thing is Nayamatma Pravachanena Labhya Namedhaya. Even those things also are delusions. Self is beyond all of that. Of course, with all of them, knowledge of self we gain, desire to gain the self we increase, go in that direction. वहाँ तक वो help करते हैं. But toward the end, toward the time of final experience, all have to be given up. That is what the Rubhu Gita's way. But in that, this is mentioned. How like the Shena, this Rubhu, sorry, this Vamadeva, has broken the iron shackles and came out. Same thing we have to do. Aho garbhe eva shayanah Vamadeva Rishihi evam vacha et. So he has achieved it and he proclaimed it to everyone by being in the Garbha only, that these three things I have done. One, analyzed everybody's life. Two, analyzed my past life. Three, used the Atma Jnana Samarthya to come out of the shackles. Okay. Now the last shloka says the gati reached by Vamadeva through this sadhana and any such people. Start. स एवं विद्वान् अस्मात् शरीर भेदात् ऊर्ध्वमुत्क्रम्य सः एवं विद्वान् अस्मात् शरीरभेदात् ऊर्ध्वः उत्क्रम्य अमुष्मिन् स्वर्गे लोके सर्वान् कामान् आप्त्वा अमृतः समभवतु समभवतु अगेन सः एवं विद्वान् अस्मात् शरीरभेदात् ऊर्ध्वम् उत्क्रम्य अमुष्मिन् स्वर्गे लोके सर्वान् कामान् आप्त्वा अमृतः समभवतु समभवतु सः एवं विद्वान् अस्मात् शरीरभेदात् ऊर्ध्वः उत्क्रम्य अमुष्मिन् स्वर्गे लोके सर्वान् कामान् आप्त्वा अमृतः समभवतु समभवतु. Very, very powerful mantra. It can't be done in one day. We have to give time to it. Anyway, Saha means that Vamadeva and anybody who does like him. Evam Vidwan, having this way realized his own essential self, Asmat Sharira Bhedat. When the Sharira has fallen, Urdvaha. Now, because his direction is upwards, because those sadhanas he has done and fulfilled in them, Utkaramya. He is really freed from no more shackles there. Bahar aa gaya. Amushmin swarge loke. In this loka of the self. Sarvan kaman aptva. Having experienced the bliss of the self, in which all the kamana purti anandas are included. Amrutaha. And in that he is eternally staying. That Sukha of Atma is not Mruta, not endful. Amrita means endless, deathless. Amritaha Samabhavatu has become one with that. Samabhavatu he has become one with it. So Saha evam vidvan asmat shairira bhetat urdhva utkramya amushmin swarge loke sarvan kaman aptva amritaha samabhavat samabhavatu. See, when we know the literal meaning of the words and are able to break the shloka, the sandhi and all, close the eyes and chant it, we can feel the meaning of it. Saha evam vidvan अस्मात् शरीर भेदात् ऊर्ध्वमुत्क्रम्य अस्मिन् ऊर्ध्वमुत्क्रम्य अमुष्मिन् स्वर्गे लोके सर्वान् कामान् आप्त्वा Amritaha samabhavatu. That is what. Now the taste of the Bhashya. They are very, very good. Mantra itself is so beautiful, complete. And Sonepe Swaga, the Bhashyakaras, patient Bhashya. Very systematic, patient Bhashya, one by one word. So Saha. Saha means it's a Sarvanama pronoun. Directly you can't use pronoun. If you are using pronoun means before that you have meant some noun. You have said some noun. Therefore, here Saha is a pronoun naturally to the preceding shlokas noun, which was that Vamadeva. Therefore, Saha means Vamadeva. That Vamadeva. Saha means Vamadeva. Then, who is he? Rishi. How did he say Rishi? Bhashyakara? He did not say. Taduktam Rishina said in the earlier mantra. So Shruti Mata only is saying that the Vamadeva is Rishi. How is a Rishi? The one who has got the rays of knowledge so powerful to eliminate the darkness of ignorance. The rays of light of knowledge to remove the darkness of delusions and ignorances. You understand? He is called as Rishi. Rishaya mantra drashtaraha. And one Rishi is he who experienced the self, and to him the mantras are revealed. Other Rishi is he who, through contemplation on the mantras existing, he has realized the self. Both are Rishis only. So Vamadeva Saha Vamadeva Rishihi. Then Vidwan is the word. Vidwan is the knower. To that Bhagavan Adi Shankara's Bhashya is what? Yathoktam Atmanam Evam Vidwan. Yathoktam Atmanam Evam Vidwan. The one who has discovered his own self. As was said earlier in all other Upanishads, here also the self of the nature of the self being that infinite Satchit Ananda. So Yathoktam Atmanam Evam Vidwan. So in mantra Saha Evam Vidwan. So Saha Vamadeva Rishihi Evam Yathoktam Atmanam Vidwan. The one who has known the self as it is said here. No more shackles of any of the Panchakoshas or any of the Anatma Tadatmyas. So Vidwana, then next one. Asmat Sharira Vedat. Asmat, this Sharira, the body, Vedat means breakage. Bhashyakara's Bhashya is what? Asmat Sharira Vedat means Sharirasya Avidya Parikalpitasya Ayasavat Anirbhedyasya जनन मरणादि अनेक अनर्थ शत आविष्ट शरीर प्रबंधनस्य परमात्म ज्ञान अमृत उपयोग जनित वीर्यकृत भेदात शरीर उत्पत्ति बीज अविद्यादि निमित्त उपमर्द हेतोः शरीर विनाशाद इत्यर्थः. अब देखो अब how much I have to struggle to explain you, बेचारे, you have to struggle to understand. Okay. Asmat Sharira, up to this to easily understood. This body. Bhedat is the word you have to understand. Here the Bheda means Vinasha. The last word in this big sentence. Sharira Bheda means Sharira Vinasha. By achieving the destruction of the Sharira. So what is the destruction of Sharira? Why is the destruction of the Sharira? How is the destruction of the Sharira? Isn't it? How subtle is this question? Does it mean that he has immolated his body, cut it into pieces? See the subtlety there in the question. Word is Bheda. Bheda means Nash. So here the idea is, at this very moment, the identity with the body caused by the ignorance is rejected by the knowledge of the self. Therefore, the body is there, but I am the body, that identity is destroyed. Point one. That is the meaning of destruction of body. Then what about the future bodies he is going to have? They are also destroyed much before they are born, because in future I will have the bodies only when I have the corresponding vasanas, isn't it? All those vasanas are destroyed. Therefore, the would-be future Sharira also, much before they are given or born, are destroyed. How all of them achieved? By establishing in the Atmajnana. That is the meaning of this beautiful long sentence. That is the joy when we really study Bhagavan Adi Shankara's Bhashya. Very beautiful, very kind, but very masterly, scholarly he is, unfortunately for us, that every time he cannot come to a low level to simply explain Tadjnanam Prashamakaram Yadindriyanam. When he is commenting or giving Bhashya to the Upanishads, his Bhashya should befit to that height. If somebody says, no, I can't study, never mind, go to my Prakarana Granthas. Study Manisha Panchakam, Gopina Panchakam, udare तुम्हारा स्थाई. Now you bring the Upanishad to our level, please, it can't be done. I have already given you those things. Studying them, you come to the level of Upanishad. Because for your sake, I cannot dilute the Upanishadic Bhashya, sublimity. So to Gita. What a powerful Bhashya. It doesn't come. Nowhere in the entire Gita, in Bhagavan's Bhashya, you will see Gita is for management, Gita for the worldly success. No nonsense he talks, Shankara. Bhagavad Gita is Moksha Shastra. So through every shloka and adhyaya, how the moksha jnana is revealed by Lord Krishna, that only he highlights, just like Vishnu Sahasranama also. It is not a crying, begging in front of Vishnu. No. Every name of it leads to the reality. That alone he gives the bhashya. Beautiful they are all. So here also. Okay. So what are they? 2, 3 words. A few things we will see today. Tomorrow the remaining. We need to have one more day. Ki Vidwan Asmat Sharira Vedat. One by one we see. Here is called Sharirasya Vinasha is Sharira Bheda. This much pehle catch kar le. The destruction of the body is the meaning of the word Sharira Bheda in the main mantra. Main mantra's word is Sharira Bheda. Sharira Bhedat Urdhva. So first you understand Sharira Bheda. Sharira Bheda is Sharira destruction or Vinasha. Destruction is not committing suicide or all of that we already told. Okay? Like Ashwathama. His hair is cut, mustaches are cut and sent out of this Rajya. That is equivalent to killing him. He need not be killed, but that is killing. So too Rama and Lakshmana. That rule put by that Yamaraj sent by Brahmadeva is, when we are talking, anybody comes and disturbs, you have to kill him. Terrible it is. Then Durvasa is coming. He is forcing the Lakshmana to go and tell Rama, I have come. Lakshmana comes and tells. Otherwise, Durvasa says, Pura Ayodhya ko jala dalunga main. Now that Yamaraj, whatever he had to talk in the Brahmana Vesha, it doesn't go. Now the Rama Lakshmana, they realize that they have committed that sin of invoking the curse. Now Rama alone has to kill Lakshmana. You know, in Valmiki Ramayana Visa, in this also it will come. There are Adhyatmik Ramayana, I think next chapter. But you can't kill Lakshmana. So I just do the tyaga of you. मैंने तुमको छोड़ दिया. That is more than death to Lakshman. He goes and Mahaprasthanam. पहले Lakshman जी का ही होता है. Because he'll have to go there and be ready to receive God. Anyway, here also the Sharira Bheda literally is Sharira Nasha. Practically is detachment. By removing the ignorance through the gaining of Atma Jnana. Again, by removing all the vasanas which otherwise cause the future bodies. Again, same with the Atma Anubhuti. Keep it in mind. So, Asmad Sharira Bhedat means Sharirasya. What from where from the Sharira came? Avidya Parikalpitasya. The strong not knowing of the self called as Avidya is the one because of which the Sharira is Paritaha Kalpitaha. Such a powerful word that is. This is. I really want to pause here. Paritaha Kalpitaha. Like on a canvas. This person with all his imagination, with the paints that are there, he brings out an art as if it appears to be so real and realistic. Is it real? No. But is it appearing as real? Yeah. That thing which is never real but made to appear as real as reality is called as paritaha and kalpitaha. In the same way, self alone is there. There is nothing called as the samashti or veshti, sthula sukshma karana. Yet this avidya is so powerful that it has paritaha, perfectly kalpitaha, created or imagined or projected the body in such a manner that is so real. No, it is not at all difficult to understand and very, very essential to understand. 2 examples. One is what? We see the building. What is building, batao bhai? Other than eat and patthar and concrete. But are there not these things combined with each other in such a way that a parikalpita bhavanti or the building is in front of us, which we take as real and we use it by staying in it. Dekho, parikalpana. Same way at the scientific level, nothing but the atoms and molecules which are making the whole gross world, which is so tangible and substantial. Remove all those atoms, the whole world will collapse only. Therefore, what are there in the whole world's gross things? Nothing but atom. But some combination of the atoms, because some are other rules, regulations, is it not doing the parikalpana of the whole gross world in front of us? So this is very subtle thing. We have to get the breakthrough. If we understand it both ways, spiritually and scientifically, then this whole gross world, which is because appearing real and we are running behind, the reality value given to it goes away, then our desire for it, demand for it reduces. To that extent, freedom from is enjoyed. At the same time, mind is calm and quiet. We can pursue the self. Avidya parikalpitasya. What is avidya parikalpita? Self alone is infinite. It is alone blissful. This information is not there. That's called avidya. Therefore, seeking the infinite self only, we are doing the kalpana of the whole things. Here, the context may we are talking about the Sula Sharir. Big topic it is. Then the further things is avidya parikalpidasya ayasavat anirbhedyasya. Once that parikalpana of the sharira is done out of avidya and it is given the identity that is me, it becomes ayasavat anirbhedya. Like the iron shackle, iron, you may with physical body which is so fragile and you can't break the iron wall. Ayasavad anirvedhyasya. Then janana maranadi aneka anartha shatavishta sharira prabandhanasya. The bondage of aneka janma marana going through so many shariras. See how he is explaining sharira, sharira karana, and sharira's effect of bondage, and how that bondage is broken by the Atma Jnana. These things he is explaining this one big line. I am तो really fascinated by it. So tomorrow in that way पूरा उसको खोलकर हम समझेंगे, then it will give a great joy. Then continue and conclude. This is a khanda tomorrow or chapter. Today we can't have it. Om 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paramarashibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti MAATRE Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you. There are two things. Understanding the spiritual knowledge of the self. Second is understanding them, trying to understand the Bhashya. Many people do the first one. Very rare are the ones who do the second. We are doing that. By this, we are tuning to the intellect of the great sage Bhagavan Adi Shankara as to how both the scriptures have to be understood and through them the self has to be understood. The power of thinking, power of logic, power of respectfully trying to understand the Upanishads, all of that which are very essential from the total standpoint of Sanatana Dharma establishment, we are getting trained by studying. Without all that also we can just talk, basing on the main mantras. You know, we can do that and you can understand as good as we are understanding now through Bhashya. But directly chanting the Bhashya and explaining through that, it is a increase our faith in the glory of the Shastras, the Gurus, the Rishis, the Bhashyakaras and the Bhashya. Thank you. Narayana.